Hey kids, want to increase violent crime in your city by 56%? Turns out that's pretty easy actually. You just ship in a bunch of third world, violent, poverty stricken, non conforming folks who have no skills, no interest in improving America when they get here, and presto, more violent crime. We actually have a template for this now in Cedar Riverside in Minnesota, the heart of this liberal experiment, where they have brought in somewhere north of 90,000 Somalians since around 2010. Cedar Riverside has been identified as a neighborhood with persistent poverty, with rates in some census tracts reaching 30% or more by 2018. It's part of Minneapolis, where black residents, including many Somalis, are 7 times more likely to live in high poverty areas than white residents. The neighborhood includes Riverside Plaza, a government subsidized housing complex noted for concentrated poverty. In fact, about 5% of Minneapolis is Somalian, but already 1 in 3 residents living in public housing are Somali. 1/3. The problem is that they come from a failed state that is rife with crime and poverty, and they bring it here, and we get the same thing. When asked why they came to Minnesota, they said that America Welfare is advertised in their government assistance centers. The facts are that fraud is a staple of Somali culture, and again, it's brought to our shores. Like childcare, since 2014, 13 centers closed, and 6 felony convictions secured $4.6 million in restitution. 10 centers were under investigation in 2018, with reports of up to even $100 million still unaccounted for. There's medical fraud. Examples include an $11 million case involving 3 people and a $9.5 million case with 18 defendants. There's a Feeding Our Future scandal. It's a $250 million fraud scheme. One of the largest pandemic-era frauds involved fake crimes for feeding the children. Prosecutors allege that Somali defendants tied to nonprofits like Feeding Our Future fabricated meal counts and pocketed funds for luxury goods, real estate, and cars. For instance, Somali Community Resettlement Services kept 1.1 million of the 2.9 received. 5 were convicted in 2024 with a trial disrupted by a $120,000 juror bribe attempt. They're not even good at this. And not to mention the terrorism allegations that also raised many concerns. But ultimately, all these Somalis were going to need a leader, somebody willing to participate in the fraud, show continual contempt for America while pining away for their former country home publicly as often as possible. Someone that hates white men, and heck, maybe someone that even married their brother to become a citizen.
Our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Listen, the big question here is, what has the import of a third world country done for America that is positive? Nothing at all, I would argue. Name me one thing, please. One. Our streets are dirtier and tensions are high. There are houses with piles of garbage, street corners stocked with junkies passing needles around. Our country once prided itself on the appearance of our neighborhoods, how we dressed, and our physical attributes. Americans wouldn't have dared to leave the house looking unkept and disorderly, as recently as even the 50s and 60s. Even small children were dressed to impress in those days. But over time, those norms have been discarded for a variety of reasons, but the end result has been catastrophic. Getting up early and putting in a good day's work and being proud of that has all but been condemned now by many. It's actually encouraged to be a lazy non-contributor and to grab as many government goodies as you can, while condemning the very country providing those things and the working class that creates those goods and services. Make no mistake, this is a war for America's soul. It's a war that's been fought from the very beginnings of our country. It's the same war the world has been embroiled in since God created Adam and Eve. Good versus evil. The evil comes in many different packages, but ultimately the goal is to break down our Christian society into an anything goes zone. What's good is bad, and what's bad is good. And I'll end with this. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Thanks for listening, everyone, and God bless you.